What's up? We are live, man. We are here for another Wednesday of Retouch This. Yeah, buddy. What's going on? How are you doing, Captain Clint Torres?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Had a pretty good week so far, and just kind of taking it easy.
Yeah. Can you believe it's already May?
It's fucking crazy, dude. Like, it's crazy. I mean, even in general, not just like the last year and a half of this shit, but I mean, life in general. Like, I don't feel like 10, 15 years ago, a year evaporated like that. Now it's just like 2020, 2021. I mean, it's going to be 2030 in the blink of an eye. It's fucking weird.
Well, here's a weird thing. We are on episode 9 of Retouch This. We have literally been doing this for 9 weeks now. Wow. How crazy is that, buddy?
I mean, that doesn't even seem like I would have felt, it just kind of feels more like 5, 6, or 7.
I know, right? Well, I was surprised last week how we went 2 hours and 15 minutes with just me, you, and Steve. And it just flew by. I mean, we were just having so much fun talking about Oscars and Falcon and all that stuff. But let's get into what we're talking about today. Real quick, everybody, retouch this. If this is your first time checking us out, we are a podcast, and I am a professional bikini model photographer. I've been doing it for about 20 years. And as you can imagine, I have just multitudes, like tens of thousands of images, and I have to sit here and edit this stuff. So I figured, why not have on some friends to nerd out with our, what's out, and talk about pop culture, movies, TV shows, Star Wars, all that stuff. Look at hot chicks. We have a great show today. We're going to start by introducing the bikini model that we'll be editing today. Then we're going to get into a discussion about Star Wars. Just released its Bad Batch premiere episode on Disney Plus. Then we'll check out a brand new show on HBO Max called The Nevers from Josh Whedon, which was quite interesting. And then we will roll into our Women Crush Wednesday for the week, which is myself, Brian, and Steve pick 3 girls that we think are just absolutely killing it out there, 3 hotties, and then we'll toss it out there to you guys. You can leave it in the comments. And then after that, we have this amazing interview with internet model Sasha Banks, who has done internet modeling, bikini barista, exotic dancer, traveling around the country. So we'll hang with her, chat with her for a little interview, and then Brian will give her some culture questions at the end of the video. And that's what we got going on today, ladies and gentlemen. So how do you feel about that, Brian?
I love it. I love it. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah. Well, real quick, everybody, before we get started, this is our 9th episode, and it would really mean a lot to us if you're watching these. Please make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube on this channel, because YouTube is a little shady and sketchy, and they unsubscribe people constantly. I constantly see my numbers going up and down on, gain 100, lose 100 in a day's period. And it's just kind of weird. And if you can, guys, please like this video, smash the like button, leave a comment for us, what you want to see in the future, some hotties, any recommendations, of course, Women Crush Wednesday. And most importantly, what really helps us out is if you can share this video with some friends, because there's nothing like word of mouth. And when you guys watch us and then share it out to some friends and they start watching us, that really is monumental for us here. So let's go ahead and I'll pull up.
Also, if after your friends, if your mom has her friends over for a game of bridge, just cruise on in and recommend this, because I'm sure they'll enjoy it. We're a big hit in the mom community if nobody's put that together.
Moms love us.
Love.
And we love moms. Wink. Well, let me introduce some of the photos that we are actually going to be working on today. And you may remember from, I think it was last week I was working on these. Last week we were working on Molly Shea images.
Yeah.
And this week, I think it was a previous week, we were getting back to Nikki Gray. Like I said, guys, I did this photo shoot with her in 2011, and there were so many photos that I did not have the opportunity to go through and edit. And I mean a lot. Like I'm talking like I'm sitting on a folder of probably about 500 photos from that shoot that were all that I deemed worthy enough to basically retouch them and use for posting. We were posting. She was all stoked. She had forgotten about these photos too. She reached out to me on Instagram and was just like, "Oh my God, I remember that shoot. I love San Diego." To which I was like, "Well, duh, of course. Who the hell doesn't love San Diego?"
Yeah.
I was like, "San Diego loves you, Nikki. San Diego loves you." But
San Diego might be the easy living capital of the world.
Yes. Yeah. It's pretty difficult to live anywhere else in the country after you've lived in San Diego.
Yeah.
That is for damn sure. So these photos of Nikki, these ones, okay, we shot these in La Jolla by a surf spot that I like to use. I've been using for about 20 years, this gorgeous little beach area. And they have this long walkway that has this just plain wall that looks great. And you get all this ambient light bouncing back into that little area. So you actually don't even really need a flash for the shots. But one thing you do see is like it's really kind of like warm tone on these shots. Like kind of, you know, it just automatically turns it warm because the light bounces off the wall and creates that yellowish tinge through it. Now I like this. I picked this because of this specifically. So this bikini, I forget who this was from, but I loved the purple yellow, of course, Laker colors, and purple yellow black, and that's why we chose this bikini for this area.
Hey, hang on. Is this one of those internet are you messing with me?
What do you mean?
That bikini, I'm not kidding, it's pink and black.
Well, yeah, pink and black.
Oh, you said purple and yellow. I was like, wait, what's happening? Okay.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
maybe
it's
purple,
like
pink, and black.
Yeah, it's like a pink, purple, fuchsia.
You threw a yellow in there. That's where I was like, yeah, yellow. All right. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, dude. We were shooting an episode of The Hemp, and my my producing partner, he wanted to shoot in this fucking alley, and on the one side it was like a construction site, and on the other side it was just a 10-story stark white building. Oh. And he's like, how's it look? And I'm like, dude, it looks stupid. It sucks. I was like, there's just light splashing everywhere. We can't shoot here. Blah, 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 like whiny. Anyways, long story short, we still shot there. It was just like, dude, it's like you're making this almost unusable from the beginning. Why? There's a park 100 feet away, tons of trees. You know, we'll get great, disparage focus, or out of some of that stuff out of focus when you're trying to get your subject. Anyways, I know what you're saying. I see what you did it. I mean, it's a little different. You could work with that, and she's, her skin tone and hair color. But yeah, I can imagine that thing was just bouncing light everywhere on you.
Well, I had gone in and messed around with the raw files before this. It looks like these. I must have messed around with them originally, but that looks like the. Let's see here, if I can reset this. Let me see, because there are old photos like that. So let me hit the auto, and that's the baseline image right there. That was with no saturation, like nothing whatsoever done to them. So I kind of like when I try to shoot in ambient light, and I'm just using that ambient light to redirect light onto the subject. I just try to go for that really nice bell curve distribution of light that you can see up here in the graph that I'm pointing to. You can kind of see the highlights or the wall and stuff. But let's see here. Yeah, I'll probably, and like always, guys, what I do is, the way it works with Camera Raw now in Photoshop is that in the past, I used to have to do these things one by one, and you couldn't, you could work on one, and then you'd sit there and write down what you set, and then you'd go literally on the keyboard, just like 15, 25, tab 35, tab -25, and you would do that for like 50 images and then save it. And you would do that all one by one. But now, once you have the exposure of the shot and it's all the same, predominantly for that role, for that scene, now you can just kind of go in there and you can kind of work on one image, get the lighting that you want, and then apply that to the next image that you worked on. So
you've been shooting raw now?
Oh yeah, I've been shooting raw forever. I never was I always would shoot raw, even though it would take up so much more storage. And basically, my shoot process is I usually shoot raw, the medium format raw. There's no need for like the extra large file raw. That's just too much data. The files are huge, and I'll shoot raw. And then when I come in here, before I file name anything, whatever, I go through all the raws and I do a preliminary selection, and I just go through them and I say keep, delete, keep, delete, keep, delete, and I just star them using Adobe Bridge. And then they're separated. I take the outtakes, throw that in an outtake folder, and then I put the ones I want to keep into the raw folder. Then once they're in the raw folder, I file name them by scene or outfit. And it's always like Nikki-Gray-modeling- the year, month, day. And then like, this would be like -set number 3, and then the file number. So then that way, everything is organized on my drive. So I can always go back and find something from way back when. It's just a workflow that I've created. And then that way I have then my like set number 1, set number 2, set number 3, and I work on them in sets. And then I'll usually say, I'll work on set number 1, get like 20, 25 images done for the girl. And then I'll send them over to her via Dropbox. And like I'll work on the raw images and then convert them to JPEGs. And once they're JPEGs, and I'm not going to be doing that today, guys, because I have a brand new laptop and I haven't transferred over all my presets from my previous laptop in Photoshop. But that's where I would do like the dynamic skin softener. I would do the retouching on her skin. If she's got like, if the girl forgot to go to the friggin' Brazilian wax place and get her, vagina waxed. I don't feel like, I have presets that I can just kind of go through there. And are you checking out Brian's waxing right there? Is that what we're doing?
No, we're having minor little camera.
So
we laser.
We're talking about bikini waxing. I just see you point the camera down at your crotch. Like
we laser over here, son.
Oh, you laser. Okay.
It's like a turtle shell down there. Hey, do you pop those in? So what do you pop those in? Oh, you don't use Adobe? Like, so do you use
Photoshop?
Okay, because I was wondering, do you like? I've been messing around with DaVinci lately. DaVinci Resolve is, I use Blackmagic cameras for when I shoot, so obviously it goes hand in hand. But I gotta say, man, DaVinci's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing suite of programs. Yeah. But do you have like photoshopping programs in DaVinci, or is that just mainly video editing?
See, I'm thinking mainly video. I was wondering actually if you would know, because obviously, I don't necessarily do too much with the stills, so I haven't gotten a chance to kind of check that out. But I think I am going to explore that. I'd be curious, just because they're one of their kind of main things that they kind of tell about is the color grading that can be done. Like that's kind of like their thing to try and get people into using it.
Yeah, I've heard the color grading with DaVinci is fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's only video. Adobe Photoshop is primarily photography and graphic design and stuff like that. But then you also have Illustrator, and then you also have, there's a million programs to learn. It's why you just need to stick with one workflow and run with that. And Adobe's been around forever. Now, other people use Lightroom, which is another Adobe product. I just have been in the workflow of using Adobe Bridge for organizing all my content. I just like the format. I like the workflow. And I can bang through, I can bang through these girls pretty fast. You know what I mean? So I just basically, I don't think we've ever discussed this. We've always gone straight into the topics. Yeah. But when I'm working on the images in RAW, I can pretty much, we have the exposure level right here. So you can get in there and you can mess around with exposure. So precisely. So like this, I'd probably get that to about there, just before it's kind of overexposed. You have your contrast to pop things. You have your highlights. So if she's a little hot, if she's got hot spots, I could just hit highlights and I could just drop her down. You can see how that just takes and just adjust that right there. It's good for whites and stuff like that. It kind of really brings it back in. It just depends on what you want to do. You've got your shadow adjustments. You can brighten your whites. You can brighten your blacks. Then you've got texture, grain, clarity, is great. If you know that you're going to dynamic skin soften a girl and you're going to wash out her skin and really smooth her out. Sometimes what I like to do is just go a little sharper before I do that. You know what I mean? So then you kind of bring it back to like sharpen it a little bit more and then wash it and then kind of like blend it down. And then you have vibrance. And then, man, you can get into your color mixer here and you can start with sunsets and landscapes. You can start popping like reds, orange, yellows. If you're doing blue water, blues and greens, and then skies, you got your purples and magentas. This is the way that this all works now in Photoshop from when I started with Photoshop way back in the day. Like this is a piece of cake now. This is literally kindergarten with the amount of information that you can just dick around with on here. But I like that with her right there, so I'll just keep that setting. So
hey, back to her bikini real quick. Is the bikini top eyes, and then is the bottoms? Is that a mouth on there?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Friggin' stunning.
Yeah, she's a very sexy girl, that's for sure.
Very, very sexy chick. Very was pretty fun to work with.
Very provocative suit.
Mm-hmm. So let's like jump into the discussion here and let's get started talking about some Bad Batch, some Star Wars new content, Bad Batch, an extension of the Clone Wars animated seasons, which ran from I think 2008 to 2014 when Disney was bought, and we had 6 seasons. And then immediately, like, it was a fan favorite. Everybody loved it. And then suddenly, like, Disney canceled it. And they left us hanging, and we didn't have the end of the season. And then they went, and then they did last year the final 7th season of The Clone Wars, which was fantastic. It was produced by Dave Filoni, who is George Lucas's protege. So now we have the Bad Batch on Disney Plus. And you guys can check this out right here.
Now, a question. In the Clone Wars,
sure.
So the Jedi that Rosario Dawson played in the Mandalorian, was Rosario Dawson the voice also in that series?
No, the voice of the girl in the series was a girl named Ashley Eckstein, and Caucasian girl, blonde hair, and yeah, definitely a very noticeably different voice. That was a big kind of like fan question when we heard the rumors that Ahsoka was going to come from Clone Wars to live action in Mandalorian. There was a lot of talk. People were like, well, you could do Ashley Eckstein. I mean, you could just teach her to fight and move and stuff like that. But this is what it came down to with Rosario Dawson. Rosario Dawson's lifelong dream as an actress was to play Ahsoka Tano. That's it. That she constantly hounded Jon Favreau and Lucasfilm and said she wanted to do it, and she was obsessed with the role. And I think she did a great job.
Well, I think transferring from a visual character in an animated series to real life, I think it was borderline perfect.
Yeah. And
I think Rosario Dawson is fucking amazing.
Yep.
Beauty-wise and talent-wise, acting-wise. Like, and I think there's a fair amount of movies out there that people might have missed with her. But yeah, she's great. She's great.
So basically what we're doing, if you're not familiar with the Bad Batch, everybody, you guys remember the Clone Troopers, in Star Wars episode number 2, it was called the Clone Wars. And Yoda says the Clone Wars, they've begun. So the Clone Wars happen kind of in Star Wars movie episodes number 2, the Clone Wars, and then Revenge of the Sith. It goes through there. Then we had the animated season for 7 seasons, which really was a deep dive into the Star Wars universe. I mean, you got to learn about everything. You got to see all the different battles that were happening all throughout the galaxy. You got to see all the Jedi, develop connections with them, relationships with them. But what we learned through that was that when the Caminos were cloning the clones, they actually had created some clones that had some genetic mutations, and they were called the Bad Batch. But what ended up happening was there was 4 of them. There was Wrecker, who you can see right here in IMDb, the IMDb page right there. Pull up this photo. So you had there was 4 of them to start, which was Hunter. He's kind of the leader. He was given gifts of kind of like a mutation where his leadership and also tracking and hunting was higher than all the other clones. Wrecker had super strength, not the brightest tool not the sharpest tool in the tool shed. Then you had Crosshair, who was a phenomenal marksman, and then you had Tech, who obviously the name sounds pretty easy to figure out what these guys are into. So what we did here in the Bad Batch is that the Bad Batch kicks off. Then this is going to be a spoiler discussion, guys. The Bad Batch kicks off, happens right when Palpatine gives Order 66 to massacre all the Jedi across the universe. But because the Bad Batch were mutated clones, they did not have the inhibitor chips inside of their brains working specifically like all the other clones. So while all the other clones were starting to massacre the Jedi, these guys weren't really affected by it. Somewhat. I'm not going to kind of get into all. There is a little surprise in there with one of them. And then we're introduced to, when we go back to Camino, we're introduced to a brand new character in the Star Wars universe named Omega, who we find out is a clone, and also was part of that initial batch that was mutated. But then this one, whereas most of the clones are adults, this was a female clone. So, yeah, that's basically where the story kicks off. What'd you think, Brian?
It's another question about Clone Wars animation series. Now, am I correct that Freddie Prinze Jr. was a voice? Okay. Who was his character?
So Freddie Prinze Jr. in the Star Wars Rebels series voiced the Jedi Kanan Jarrus. Okay. And we actually see the backstory of that. So Kanan Jarrus actually, that was his fake name in Rebels because he was trying to hide his identity from the Empire. But when he was a Jedi, his name was Caleb Doom. And we get to see him in the beginning of this Bad Batch season.
Oh, okay.
That was him. That was the child.
Okay. Gotcha. Because he had like a mentor Jedi that got killed?
Yep.
Okay.
He actually had, yeah. And she was actually on the Jedi Council. She was very high up there. She was no Jedi slouch. So for her to die like that, but you could see in the show, she was surrounded by dozen plus troopers, close range firing at her. And that's how most of that's the thing that people understand when Palpatine massacred the Jedi. Like the Jedi just never even saw that coming. And these Jedi had just gone through years of battles with all these clones, saving their lives. So they never thought in the right mind that any of this was coming. And you see them, they suddenly they twitch, their spite, Jedi sense goes off, but it's too late. It's too, because the clones just turned on a dime and massacred them. And Caleb was in the beginning of the Bad Batch episode. So that was that was Freddie Prinze Jr., old ass Freddie Prinze Jr. trying to do the voice of a child. I don't know if you picked up on that. I
didn't actually watch. Well, I'll get to part of it. I mean, I didn't see the credits or anything like that. But the reason I was wondering about Freddie Prinze is he's not on it as much anymore. He used to be on a sports station here in LA, like randomly. Like these guys, it was just Laker Dodger talk, and then for like this year period, like the number one fill-in guy was Freddie Prinze Jr. And like, no offense, I don't care that much for his thoughts on sports. I like my sport. I'm an East Coast guy, so I have a certain standard I expect. But what I did like about him is he would sometimes talk more entertainment than the rest of the guys. And obviously, he's Freddie Prinze Jr., so he's seen Hollywood firsthand, and he would talk about the Star Wars show. And at the time I hadn't seen it. I'll be honest. So I have not seen any of the Clone Wars animation series. Okay. Now I'll get to let me get my little spiel about the Bad Batch out. So first of all, what was throwing me off like over the last few months is I kept hearing reference to the Bad Batch. Now, Have you watched The Bad Batch, the movie called The Bad Batch that came out in the last 2 years with Jason Momoa?
Oh yeah, the movie. Yeah, that was a weird ass movie, man. Yeah, but Jim Carrey's in that too, and Keanu Reeves, right?
There is definitely some interesting characters that popped up. I can't recall Keanu, but yes, I do. Jim Carrey was like that guy. He drew the picture. He was
the bum.
Yeah,
he was the homeless guy out in the desert, the scavenger.
Keanu Reeves. Yes, Keanu Reeves. Yes. Absolutely.
Keanu Reeves was the orgy like master,
right.
the harem guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I'll tell you why that just blanked on me. We'll get into this maybe this show or later. I did something this weekend. I watched Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Oh wow! Okay,
I'm gonna leave it at that. And we may or may not get into any of that. So, Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted Face the Music does not look like Keanu Reeves in any other movie I've seen. So when I was trying to place him in the Bad Batch movie with Momoa, I couldn't. But yes, you're right. Very, very strange movie, but I liked it. I'm not like, oh, it's a great movie. Everyone's got to see it. But like, if you're a cinephile, I would absolutely recommend you go watch that movie. And if you're a filmmaker, potentially an independent filmmaker, I would 100% endorse you go watch that movie. Yes, They obviously had some stars, but that's how you make a movie with very limited cast. Obviously, limited they had budget. Yeah, but a very very fucking interesting movie. So the Star Wars Bad Batch. So full disclosure, I didn't get through it. I'm gonna try again. I gotta tell you, I gotta admit this, and here's why I never watched the Clone Wars animation. That's picture you just had up there, by the way. That was remember I touched on
right there.
that thing that the girls call the thigh thing, which I disapprove of. She's got the secondary version going right there. But anyway, so that animation bugs the fucking shit out of me. I don't know why. I find it to be a cross of claymation, which I fucking hate. I don't know why. It just bothers me. With then like obviously some sort of artwork like layered on top of it or something like that. Like honestly, aesthetically, it bothers me. Then two, I guess this concept of in a galaxy far, far away, we were having this concept of genetic mutations. I guess I like to think that that's more commonplace in a galaxy far, far away. Now, I'm not saying that's ever been discussed, but in my personal head, I basically view guys like Boba Fett or majority, maybe even some of the Jedis or whatever, some of those characters, because they're kind of different or they have power. So I don't know why. Maybe it's also because like of all the comics, like if I was ever going to defend one to the death, it would be X-Men. And the thing I always found that about X-Men related to any other comic book character or series or anything was the concept of a mutation gave them their power. They didn't go out and take a super serum. They didn't build a suit or whatever. Like it was just something that it was completely unplanned. Hence, whether they were good or evil, I always thought was unique. Now, so as it regards to the Bad Batch, Star Wars, the Bad Batch, I shouldn't really let that influence me that much. But I do kind of like, the core characters that they've grouped together here and what seems to be their overall mission. So I also know I'm sorry, because like I'm kind of newer to this Star Wars universe. Who was that evil like general or the guy that's kind of trying to control them? What's that guy's name?
Oh, that's Grand Moff Tarkin.
Okay. Wow, that just rolls off your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
I like that dude. I have a feeling like, and again, full disclosure, I got 40 minutes in, so I have no idea how it ends or if it's ending on a cliffhanger. So you might have to help me out.
Yeah, it was 70 minutes. It was,
okay.
Yeah, it was 70-minute episode.
I would say this. It sounds like maybe I'm getting to a point where I'd be like, I didn't like her. It's this or that. It's like, I think my lack of being informed from the rest of it left me with more questions going into it. And sometimes when I go into something questioning things, I don't let my brain just pay attention to the story. But what I did see, I'm curious. I'm curious. And from what you said, this was just episode 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I do think that there's going to be a lot to go on here. And obviously seeing some of the trailers or whatever, it looks like they're going to be set up in a sense to they'll be protecting the newest mutated character that nobody really anticipated. It sounds like their hearts went from mercenary to kind of protectors because she's like one of them.
Yep.
I can get behind that. And then I guess where I'll be real curious as to how far does this go? Like, is it going to spawn more mutated characters, things of that nature? So I'm in progress. I am leaning towards definite like so far. But yeah, again, still like there's still a side of me where a few things I had to kind of get over my, my personal grudges where like the mutation thing, it shouldn't, but in this scenario, it just sticks out kind of as like unoriginal because again of like when I think mutant, I think X-Men. But again, galaxy far, far away. I need to kind of get over it and move on. And get over my hatred for that animation. I don't know why. It might be because I'm also not necessarily the biggest video game lover. And it does kind of have that feel where I don't know, but yeah, so far so good. I will be curious to see how my opinions change. And like most of Star Wars, again, I like Star Wars. I'm not a diehard. I love like Star Wars, but I also am not nearly as hard on some of the newer versions as other people are. While I do completely understand what the beef behind it is. And I agree with it. Like, to be honest, like I agree with it. I would not try and fight somebody else because that opinion is for the most part correct. But I'll tell you, with Star Wars for me, I mean, like you've always got me at lightsaber and you've always got me at Vader. I do think, in my opinion, overall Star Wars last 10 years, it's almost like Lucas semi-doomed the whole thing because like I'm always looking for somebody who's going to show up and be as intimidating and in my opinion as dominant as Vader, a villain that's heavy, that's much of a heavy hitter. And I'm not sure if anybody's ever going to pull that off again. I mean,
no, the ultimate villain.
Right.
No, it's Vader. Vader is the Frampton Comes Alive of live albums. Like
that's awesome.
You're not gonna top it. Like you can't. You put out Frampton Comes Alive, and it's like, okay, put out another album, and it's like, no, it's never gonna happen.
Like if someone were to straight up come up to me right now, Thanos versus Vader. Like I think Vader wins that fight. So yeah,
right? Force choke, boom, done. Thanos gone.
He might not even have to break out the lightsaber. I mean, I guess if we say if Thanos has the gauntlet, like then maybe he's got a shot. I'm still probably going Vader because Vader keeps that hand down or something. Again with the mind shit. So, but maybe that's overall where some of my not problems with Star Wars lies. It's just like, man, and dude, this is so bad. What was Adam Driver's? What's his
Kylo Ren.
Yeah. I'm assuming everybody thought Kylo Ren was kind of a whiny pussy. Was it just
he was an emo. He was like your emo villain.
Okay. You know what was funny? And you tell me, I don't know if you guys if we've discussed this, and sorry if I've gotten too far off the Bad Batch, but real quick, you know what I thought was kind of hysterical in a couple of those newer Star Wars? I think one is definitely The Force Awakens. Remember when he throws a hissy fit? And he just starts smashing. Like, dude. So I saw it in the theater when it originally came out. Didn't notice it. The last couple times I saw it, I've been high as shit. Marijuana, people. No hard drugs, kids. Marijuana only. I lose my shit laughing. It makes me feel like Costanza is having a fucking hissy fit. So, but Bad Batch so far, yes. So far, we're progressing towards, a thumbs up and a like. But yeah. But you can probably tell me a little bit more about what we were watching there.
Well, so you brought up a really good point that I think I had spoken to you about before this episode started, is that the Bad Batch, what we're dealing with is deep Star Wars lore. Okay. And the majority of Star Wars normies out there probably have no fucking clue what the hell's going on. Like they probably, because if you did not watch Clone Wars, if you didn't watch Rebels, you have no idea where you are in the timeline. And basically, like I said, the best way to place this is we started this show. If you were watching the movies, it would be episode 3 when Palpatine starts killing all the Jedi, and he does that scene, the First Galactic Empire, like that. And that we're going from there. Now these guys are basically like renegades. They're going to get hunted down because Grand Moff Tarkin had, he was just Moff Tarkin. And basically Tarkin was this just badass guy from a planet. He was a military leader. He had joined the Republic. He was actually in the Republic. He was an officer under the Republic, but he's a fucking asshole and he's a dick and he wanted power. So when, Palpatine took over, he commissioned Moff Tarkin to become the Grand Moff of everything. So Grand Moff Tarkin from Star Wars Episode 4, he's the one that's on the Death Star. And when Princess Leia is brought in, she says, I should have known, I could smell your foul stench, and that's Tarkin. So we know his fate. We know eventually how he ends up, his big demise. But that, the Death Star program was Tarkin's program. That was like, he was in charge of the Death Star program. And then Grand Admiral Thrawn, who was Rosario Dawson and Ahsoka Tano's character mentions in The Mandalorian that she's searching for him. His program was this TIE Defender program, which were these just new class of TIE fighters that could, outmaneuver X-Wings by, 2-1, basically. So this is, Tarkin is a ruthless, cruel, vicious, human being or wherever planet he comes from.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's great. And now I think what I'm really excited for as like a deep lore Star Wars fan is that at some point, I'm sure we're going to get to see Vader in this series, because this is the time period that Vader starts going throughout the galaxy, killing Jedis, and he starts forming his Inquisitor squad, which is Force-sensitive dark side users that they just torture. Go ahead, go for it.
Does that bring Obi-Wan into the picture?
We could, yeah. There's a that's why many Star Wars fans were really excited about this, because the cameo list is massive. Okay, like we could have cameos left and right. We could have something where we already had Saw Gerrera on the planet. They go meet the Resistance leader Saw Gerrera, who's one of the first who starts the rebellion. So at the same time, now Obi-Wan is going off to Tatooine to go and hide. So we never know. The Bad Batch might go to Tatooine to go hide as well. We might have a little interaction with them. We could go to Lothal, which was Rebels, and find some of those. There's so many, we could possibly even have like a Mace Windu. Did Mace Windu survive? Does he run into them?
Purple lightsaber.
Yeah, we're going to probably have a Jimmy Smits character, Bail Organa, and find out, and Mon Mothma, and find out, we'll see the rebellion, because this is right when the rebellion is starting to form. This is way before Episode 4. There is a massive time gap between Episode 3 and Episode 4 of the movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when we start with Episode 4, the Empire's been around for a long time. They've purged the galaxy. Luke already is like 16 years old, 17 years old at that time period. So, man, there's a lot that happens in this time period. And there's always been this black hole in the Star Wars universe that nobody really knows. You knew in the books, but now we're getting it. And it's just, to do this live action, the costs that would take. And that's why with the animation, it's like, man, you can explore all this stuff through the animation and do it cinematically. So that's
see the draw. I definitely see the draw. In a strange way, it's almost like what I've talked about, what I think Marvel's doing with the series on Disney. It's a way to fill in all that kind of back. So when, for the diehards, you get it. And then when you go to see the movies, you've got all that information. So, but good stuff.
Cool. Well, I'm excited for it. I absolutely loved it, guys. I've only watched it once. I only had time to watch it once. I'll probably go back and watch it again. And I thought it was great. Again, a couple little cheesy moments, but I was like, that's for the kids. There's always those cheesy moments in Star Wars that are kids things. I thought there was a couple little moments with Omega that I was kind of like, are they doing the whole Mary Sue thing with this character? And I was like, but wait a minute, I don't know anything about her. I'm going to give her a time, because this is the thing with Star Wars. When Ahsoka Tano was introduced in the Clone Wars animated series years ago in 2008, the Star Wars fans absolutely despised her for the first season, second season. They hated the character. And it wasn't until she started growing up that you start to understand how important she is in the Star Wars universe. And now she's one of the most beloved characters in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you saw that. So I don't like to discount anything before we, don't count my chickens before they hatch, kind of thing. But let's go ahead and we'll get started now. We'll switch things up and turn. So we're going to talk about The Nevers. And this is a show that Brian kind of brought to my attention. Pretty interesting. It's on HBO Max. And I had signed up for HBO Max just because I wanted to see the Mortal Kombat movie. So he's like, yeah, check out this show, The Nevers. And I've kind of been hearing a little bit about it. And I gave it a shot. I binge watched all 4 episodes, which was, they're long episodes, man. They're longer than an hour.
Yeah.
They're like an hour and 10. They're like 70-minute episodes, I think it was. So we can see here so far, it's gotten a 7.2 on IMDb. It's showing that the popularity is decreasing a little bit. I would actually have thought it was the opposite. I thought that the initial episode was a little strange. And I'm kind of more now into it. Now I'm at the 4th episode. So this is a show created by Josh Whedon. Everybody, if you don't know who Josh Whedon is, he's also he created this. This is his creation. He's not the writer, but he did create all these characters. And he also is one of the founding directors of the Avengers movie series with Marvel. Now, this takes place
and Buffy
the Vampire Slayer. Absolutely. So it's right in his wheelhouse. Now, this is a very weird show because the time period is Victorian era London. So we're right at the turn of the century. We pick up in like 1893 and we're around 1896, 1899. And there is this cosmic event that happens in London. And suddenly all these people in London are given these like gifts of special abilities. And women, right? Women, but also men too. There are some men because the doctor.
That's right. Yeah, but there are very few male characters.
Very few men. Yeah. It's the majority of people who got, and it was totally random. And the majority of people who got these abilities, like, one girl could grow in size, another girl is super strong, another girl can do fire. So we're looking at our X-Men, New Mutants, X-Factor style of mutants, but in a Victorian London, Jack the Ripper time period,
with a splash of like sci-fi feel.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. So it's like a sci-fi fantasy story that's set in a Victorian time period.
Yeah.
But they don't go overwhelming with the sci-fi, like the sci-fi part. The fantasy part, it starts off slow and then it starts growing and throughout the episodes to the point that you're seeing people like start fire in their hands. You're like, oh, okay, this is, magic or whatever it is. But the first episode, if I had just seen the first episode, and I might not have continued to watch it.
I was in the same boat.
Yeah, there was something about it. It was just really, and I think it might have been because they were too mysterious with the characters and what's going on.
Right. And we got nothing in the first episode really regarding that. They already had powers. I think the other thing is, and I'm not trying by any means belittle any of the actors in it, no clue who any of these actors are for the most part.
Yeah, I have no idea.
They weren't selling us the show. I mean, like even in Game of Thrones, like we knew who Ned Stark was. We knew the actor. We knew Cersei Lannister. Like we've seen them in big Hollywood movies, so we knew the actors. That's one of the interesting things I think so far about The Nevers. I agree with you. The first episode I basically watched because we're still kind of dealing with COVID, right? So not tons to do, and but I don't even do Netflix right now because I've watched anything that I think is even worth it on there. So yeah, so I teed it up in first episode. I was kind of like, and I was curious. I am a sucker for anything kind of Victorian London. Like I like that era, and I think the sci-fi thing it's almost more like kind of the technology side, right? Like the one girl. Here's one thing I'm going to be terrible at. Also, people, I don't know most of the characters' names on the show yet, but the one girl that does she's like the MacGyver, right? Like she's making different little things, and the car. Yeah, the car is throwing me off a little bit. You notice them driving around the car?
Yeah, the car was a little strange. Yeah, that's that was like straight out of the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. Like it's just
Stephen James.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? We're right in the middle of our Nevers discussion on
Did you
HBO.
Watch? Stephen James might be
I was you guys are turning me into you guys are turning me from nevers to maybes.
Nice. We're in the same boat. We're in the same boat. We're not sure yet either.
Everybody I was texting, I think they saw that first episode, and it was most of the responses back were what the fuck, and by the way, what the fuck.
Yeah.
It was like nobody knew what the fuck was going on. It was scattered, and whether you were dialed in or you caught the end or the beginning or the middle, it was, but what I had to do is Peaky Blinders. I don't know if you guys ever watched Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
I used to always have to tell people there are certain shows that you have to tell people, look, you got to get over the 3 or 4 episode hump. And there are some shows that don't give it to you right away. And on the flip side, there are some shows that puke it all out. They give you all the dick barf right there in the pilot. You know what I'm talking about, Lindsay. I wore a shirt for you tonight.
I can't see it. I got. Did you make that? Or can you buy those? Did you make that?
John.
Oh my God.
I knew you hadn't paid attention yet.
Well, I think we're all in the same. So, Steve, did you get through episode 3? Because I think we might all agree then.
So this is really interesting because I think this is the perfect discussion for the Nevers, because I think you've got John. Are you through all 4?
Yep, we both finished them all last night.
And knocked out all 4. So I have the Nevers is. I tend to give HBO the benefit of the doubt. They've earned it over the years.
Sure.
Yep.
They just don't invest in shit. I mean, there have been some shows that some people have loved on that network that I just never got into. But it doesn't change. It's rare that they throw an air ball that doesn't connect with anybody. Right.
Here's where I think the Nevers turned for the good. So if you get through the first couple episodes, we're with you. Like, I watched the first one, and I was a little bit. I was on the fence, but I was teetering over. Then I watched the second one, and I was like, "Yikes! I don't know."
Well, I think so. Lindsay, I think it was you I was texting with, and I think I said something about HBO, and you said, "You're not talking about that Nevers crap. I'd have no idea what's going on there."
Guilty. And I was like, it definitely sounds like a response I'd make.
Yeah, but then I did something about my mom, and then it was out, and then you were out. Yeah.
So then the kicker, I think, is in episode 3. The ending of episode 3, and John, you tell me if we want to go into full spoiler mode. But the the ending of episode 3, I was bummed, shocked, and I was like, "Well, fuck, I have to now." They kind of got the hook in me there because of Mary's situation.
Yeah, we could get into spoilers. So we'll get into spoilers.
Blown the fuck away, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, that came out of nowhere.
Real quick, one last thing on the arc of where a story peaks and when you catch when something becomes huge.
Yeah.
Is I don't know if you ever saw any of those long articles where people interviewed Benioff and Weiss when they're talking with George R. Martin about Game of Thrones, and even in their first ever lunch meeting, they all agreed that if they could keep everybody invested through season 3, if they could get to the Red Wedding, they would change television forever. And that Red Wedding, people were not used to a full-fledged slaughter of main characters. And that's a whole nother story that I'd like to talk with you guys about. But go on about the Nevers. I just wanted to talk.
No, you're right, because I think John would agree with me. In season 1 of GOT, and we will move on, the two big ones were Daenerys' brother getting worked, and then Ned Stark having his head chopped off. For me, that's where I was like, oh, fuck. They're often people. But yeah, so in the Nevers, this mysterious character, kind of Mary, whose power doesn't really necessarily seem like a power, but you think there might be something more to it. She gets and by the way, John, did you notice? So remember in the second episode, the dude with the fucking Gatling gun on his arm?
Yeah, in the opera house. Yeah, he's the same one. He's the same one that killed Mary.
And now, but he was in jail, right? Or he was in a cell, and like that stuff was coming out of his arm. Was that the same dude? Like, this is a confusing point. I have to go back to
I got confused with that. I didn't know what that was. Okay. No, because the guy with the Gatling gun never got caught.
That's what I thought.
So that was a totally new character, the guy who got let out of prison or something like that.
I remember like that green pus was coming out of his arm. I thought maybe because he didn't have the cannon on.
So this is Jack the Ripper. This is Jack the Ripper, Sherlock Holmes era, right?
Yeah, absolutely. With like an X-Men, like there's a mutant aspect. And,
got it. I love it. It's got everything I love. Honestly,
and Steve, it's Josh Whedon, which John and I didn't go too deep into it, other than things that he's done. But kind of woman hater Josh Whedon, and then you've got this whole show full of women. So that's just an interesting dynamic, in its own right.
And you are maybe the biggest Buffy fan I've ever met.
Oh God, man! I mean, I can't even fake that. Yeah, I don't know if I ever saw an episode about. Now that dude, John, the barrister. Or like the tall,
the Lord, that guy, that
he's great. That dude's a fucking badass. I saw him without makeup. Good Lord, this guy is an insane actor. He's amazing. Here's one thing I'm not sure that's true, right?
That's true. She's one of the main characters. Yeah.
So here's one thing that always bugs me with we got some power, so she can see the future, but apparently she can also just take an absolute ass whooping and not even bleed. Like I get it if you've got a power, but does every power also mean that you're impervious to like regular pain?
She gets healed. She gets healed all the time. She gets cut. Like she gets cut and stabbed. And
so that's part of her power. Her power is to see the future, though.
Yeah, but she's got several. She explained. I don't know if she went into it in the episodes that you saw, but.
Could be
she's a little different. She's a little different. That's the whole thing. Is she's different than everybody else?
Oh, you're right. Because they keep saying she arrived.
Sounds like y'all are describing Wolverine with the way she's.
Yeah, there's something different about her. She keeps on saying she's on a mission. Like she has something to do, whereas everybody else doesn't have that going on. Like there's something going on with her that they'll get into more, and that's what I wanted to get into was the predictions of because we all saw the ship in the first episode and everything like that, and how it looked like that ship was crashing. This is my take, is that this is some sort of ship from outer space. It was going to crash, right? And all those things that got released in the sky were all of the people kind of thing. That it was all their essences. And those things went into host bodies. And then basically she is kind of like the captain or leader or something like that. And it's up to her to try to figure out how to get everybody back together. And that's why it was really important for Mary's character, the calling, to find out who all of them are and bring them together.
I think you just nailed something there. Yeah, I think you. Yeah.
That's kind of what I get from the show. And then, but I do like there's a lot of plots and subplots in this thing. You've got the British government that views this all as a threat and wants to kill them all and stomp it. And you know that's where they're going to go. And then you have this really super rich tycoon woman who you think is helping them, but she's also playing both sides. Then there's the brothel owner. There's the brothel owner who wants to just, make all these people sex slaves and make money off of them and do that. And then you just have, True's character where she's just trying to get them all together and figure out who the hell they are. So
I love the Lord in that game that he played with True. Well, not game, but the role reversal. That was awesome. And that dude is where it just flipped on. I was like, dude, I need to find more of this guy's movies or shows. That dude's fucking incredible. I think he's possibly going to be the breakout, the silent breakout of this. But yeah, Mary getting smoked. We found out though she was obviously the beacon, right? Her voice was a beacon. So now it's kind of like they've got a crew. Yeah. I'm probably in for season 1. I'm probably in. I'll be very curious. There are parts of the show where I'm not totally in love with the quirky sidekick MacGyver character with the inventions. I think she's cute. I think she's a good actress. I'm just not in love.
She's the moral compass.
Yeah, she's got to be.
She's the moral compass. She's the one that is always trying to get people to stick to their morals.
Yeah.
And keeping people grounded. That's what her.
I do like that they haven't gone bonkers with the powers, though. Some of them seem to be more like Earth based, or I don't even if that's the best way to say it, right? But there's no Captain Marvel. Let's say that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's flying in phaser beams, other than fire. But fire again is an Earth element, so I can live with that one. And I like that. I'm very curious about how some of the other ones will probably grow a little bit more, and we'll see. So
hey Queef Eater, you may want to exit the stream and then restart and come back in because your video is lagging pretty heavy. I don't know if you're seeing that, Brian. Yeah, so just exit and then come back in and I'll re-add you. Try to do that or restart because it's lagging when you speak a bunch.
I think okay.
Yeah, there we go. And then,
but yeah, man, I think it's interesting too, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I live in California, I live in Los Angeles and Hollywood, and over the last 6 months, I mean, Josh Whedon is some pretty heavy allegations, right? Just kind of haymakers at this guy. I like the show so far, and I'm having fun, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes. I think you're good there, QE.
Yeah, it's looking better.
Yeah. Without boring you guys,
what's up?
I won't even explain it. I log into my computer for whatever reason logs into the sales center and not to my house. Drives
interesting.
Me bonkers.
All right, well, good stuff. Yeah, Steve, I would definitely say I think the Nevers it's a little bit of a slow burn, but
you guys just made a fan. I will be watching it, and I actually will probably push it on my brothers who are bigger. They're even bigger into sci-fi than me. We're all big sci-fi fans, but it sounds like y'all say that the sci-fi isn't too heavy. These guys,
it's just the one wrench in it all, Steve. So all of a sudden, somewhere in episode 2, there's a car that shows up, but it kind of looks like a car from the future, and they drive around, and it's kind of okay, wait a minute, the car has not been invented. So there's just little nuances like that. And
they're trying to basically say she invented the car.
Now, is it like this, there's this new take where it seems like every 10th show is there's a group of people that have gone away for a while and have come back, or now there's this group of people that are part of society that were never there or
always there.
Are the people that are still normal, that were not affected by whatever these people were, are they aware that these new freaks are amongst them?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
The government is scared of them. Regular people don't know how to deal with them, and loved ones don't know how to react to them. Right?
Bingo.
Oh, to the point that they think it's Satan and satanic and all kinds of demons are possessing them, and because the way that they showed it happen was when this cosmic event happens in the sky, everybody looks up to the sky and they see this and they see all the lights and they see everything happening. And then as soon as it disappears, then everybody just snaps out of it. And the people who are not affected, or they're called touched, those people literally just went right back to work. They just like put their heads down and like went right back to like walking as if it never happened. But so then there's some people who...
Is it possible they were affected?
They obviously were affected in a sense that they knew it was going on, and then suddenly their memories were wiped, and they forget seeing the spaceship in the sky.
And I keep worried about this girl here on my screen that you're touching.
Steve, I thought that was you and John photoshopped a girl's head on it.
No, well, I was thinking, I'm worried about her catching a cold. Right up against that wall. That wall's got to be cold. Everything just looks cold.
It's like a shower wall, right? Like,
yeah, I'm worried about her a little bit.
Way deep down in a community college. That looks like she's showering in a community college somewhere.
Oh man, I heard.
Well, and Steve, that was a drafty corridor right there.
No, it did look drafty. I heard a gnarly story from a. I was drinking down at the beach, and I heard a gnarly story from a guy at a bar on Saturday who used to work at two different all women's colleges.
Say prison. Damn it.
No, it was all women's college, and he was one of the janitor maintenance guys. And I don't even know why I'm telling you guys this, but I can't keep it in my own head. They were having to.
At least you're keeping it in your pants.
They were having to redo the drains, because the drains were clogged up in all the female dorm showers because of the,
trim parties.
You know, they were throwing up their dinner, the bulimia, right?
Oh.
It's such a pandemic that they actually started installing disposals in the shower drains. Sidebar, I know that's way off topic. I just think I had to get it out of my head and throw it onto y'all's, because it's not staying in there, guys. It's not staying right here.
I whiffed twice on that. I thought you were going to say prisons and then trim party. I got colleges and puke.
I went eating disorder and disposals because I got tired of spaghetti. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, guys, our model looks like she's arrived. So let's get to Women Crush Wednesday, and we'll bang out our Women Crush Wednesday for the week. And then we'll introduce our guest model for the day. So let me go ahead and pull up our Women Crush Wednesday video. Awesome. We are back. And this is Women Crush Wednesday for the week of Cinco de Mayo. And Women Crush Wednesday, everybody, is myself, Captain Clintoris, and the Queef Eater. That sounds like a band. So Space Ghost.
Captain Clintoris and the Queef Eaters.
Captain Clintoris and the Queef Eater. So what we do is each of us picks a model, internet model, dancer, actress, celebrity, something of the week that we got the crush on, we think is killing it, just out there. And we'll start with Brian's pick this week, who is, go ahead, take it away, Mr. Captain Clintoris.
Sasha Banks, a.k.a. The Boss. Sasha Banks is about a 4-time WWE heavyweight female champion of the world. She is also in The Mandalorian. If anybody, John, I'm pretty sure you picked up on that.
Oh, yeah.
She is a Boston, Mass native. I'm going to say she's definitely a delightful little mix of that's a little gothy. I'm not sure where, man. But yeah, she's definitely a little mix of something. But as far as a guy who's used to be big time into WWF, I've definitely not really pro wrestling as much, but there's been like a women's movement in professional wrestling, whatever you want to call it. And this chick and Charlotte Flair, who is Ric Flair's daughter, and another girl named Bailey, they kind of came out and just like scorched earth as far as doing Hell in a Cell matches, steel cage matches, things like that. This chick can't be more than 5'2", 5'4". Everything is put together sensationally. Her signature move is called the Banks Statement. It's kind of this flip over, wrap her legs and arms around your neck at the same time.
You come off the top rope ever?
She definitely comes off the top rope. She actually's hurt herself a couple of her entrance. I dig. She does this interesting little thing. Let's see if she does it here. She kind of just she's got some that little slide thing. Let's see if she does it this time. This little slide thing she does. And John, I don't know if you were able to find there's the Bank Statement, but it comes off. Sometimes she does it like off the ropes. Oh, what's this? It's just Anyways,
she's doing like a reverse crab, but using her legs, like pushing. She's using all her leg power to like push into that. There we go.
She super athletic. Yeah, you know what I like sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
She's got she checks all the boxes.
The little Lisa Benefield in here.
Is this our guess the porn scene segment right here? We're getting into little. How did their clothes come off? Well, she was trying to do the neck breaker on her.
But yeah, I dig me some Sasha Banks. I love that she's crossing over into the Mandalorian. I think it's one of the most unspoken things about some of the things WWE does for their talent. They get these people into huge fucking acting in Hollywood careers. So, Sasha, I dig you, babe. You rock, and you look fine as hell.
Mandalorian found out listening to some random podcast this week.
It's happening?
Did y'all know that Amy Sedaris is in Mandalorian?
Yeah. She plays the mechanic.
Yeah, that her makeup. Yeah. It didn't click with me until she was on some podcast. Yeah.
You're talking Strangers with Candy.
I'm talking Strangers with Candy. She's the mechanic on Tatooine or whatever, and she is it did not click the whole time I watched that, and all of a sudden, right when she said it on the podcast, I was like, of course.
Steve, do you remember the name of the principal in Strangers with Candy?
Oh.
Principal Blackman. And he happened to be a black man. Strangers with Candy, if nobody's seen it, you probably have no idea what we're talking about. It's awesome. It's in a whole other world with itself. It's like that early what was that UCB show?
Yeah.
Oh God.
The Kids in the Hall?
Not that one. The other one with Amy Poehler, Matt Walsh.
Yeah.
Oh God. They used to just rip on astronauts because they were addicted to Tang. Anyways, let's move on to Women's Crush Wednesday.
So, Queef Eaters Women's Crush Wednesday this week is who?
Yeah, it's a solid pick.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Linsley got me going this way with the Elizabeth Hurley. Although
it's a good way to go, man.
I had to dig into my past. Ever since Bad Boys, when she came onto the scene in Bad Boys, the OG.
Dare we say burst onto the scene? She was the hottest person in that movie, and that movie was loaded with heat.
Yeah. No, her legs, everything. I'm sorry, but
mind you, one thing that's always confused me about her, she's gone blonde. That jet black hair with the blue eyes was unbelievable, and she seemed to abandon it as soon as she married Agent Mulder, which I'll still never, understand. I would love Tia.
And didn't he come out with didn't he publicly admit to having a sex addiction?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was cheating on her and stuff like that, and he had a serious sex addiction. So,
I mean, I would get that if he was just constantly trying to hound her, but I mean, I'm not married, but I can't imagine if she was in the other room that I'd be straying very far. I mean, he is a big, huge star, maybe that's why, but she's stunning.
Yeah, she's got that face, she's got the eyes, she's got very exotic eyes.
Thank you, John. John nailed it with the eyes.
And I'm thinking probably a 5'8", 5'10"er. She doesn't seem like a short one. Those legs.
It's not like she's jumping out of her shirt either. Like she's just straight up legit.
Yeah.
Dude, and there you go. She's killing this. She's probably in her late 40s, maybe early 50s in this photo, and still rock hard body. Look at that.
Phenomenal.
Just great shape. Yeah, I've always been a fan of Taya Leoni. Oh,
I got really confident when I texted Linsley my WCW.
Yeah. And side note, Spanglish, which wasn't necessarily like a sexy role for her, it's an Adam Sandler film.
Yeah, the Adam Sandler film. Awesome.
Phenomenal film. And she was great in it. She played a great neurotic housewife.
Oh.
Yep.
The movie with Nicolas Cage, Christmas movie, where he wakes up, he's a rich guy, he wakes up in a family man. Underrated, great movie, I think.
Yep.
She plays his wife, and even as just a little, suburban housewife, she is a smoke show.
Deep Impact eating the peanut butter again. So my pick this week,
Deep Impact, which is not a porn, just so everybody knows.
Deep Impact, not a porn. My pick this week, guys, is kind of an interesting one. She goes by the name Cherry Crush.
Okay.
And I don't know how she started or where she started, but I think she started as a webcam girl.
This emo?
Yeah, she has this like crazy unique look. So she was, she would do all these weird things where she would dress like a unicorn or a fox or all these different, all these different characters and cosplay. But she became massive in the webcam industry. And then the crazy thing about this girl is she went and started a YouTube channel. And she does ASMR on YouTube. And she is
help me out.
Help me out.
It's this it's like this auditory thing, like auditory sensory, where girls will just like eat into microphones or they'll speak really soft into I have no clue, dude. I don't understand it. Like it's a fetish. It's a total fetish.
Hold on, there is a little blood redistribution. That might have worked. Okay. I get ASRM PRT.
All right.
So, dude, this girl on YouTube is approaching 900,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Not for doing audio clips. Like literally, I'm not going to play them because I don't want to get like a copyright strike or anything like that. But you can see in this video like super intense ear licking. So, but I mean, dude, she has 17 million views with that one video.
And when did
you look at these videos, dude, this girl's making a fortune.
When did she start?
It's crazy. So this girl has the whole gamut. She does the camming. All right. So she's making money off the cams. Then she produces all her own content, and she has her content up across all the platforms, the Pornhub, the ManyVids, all those things that you can download that stuff. Then she has OnlyFans going on. That she has her subscriber count's huge. As you saw on her Instagram page, she's rocking almost 500,000 subscribers, right? And then you come over to her YouTube page, and the girl almost has 1 million subscribers. And she's got videos here that are just insane. I mean, 17 million views, 7.9 million, 8.5, 5 million. I mean, you're making a fortune off the advertising.
Are those all the same year? Are all those videos within like this year?
No. This one 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that's the crazy thing. I wonder if she started with this first, because she has videos dating back 5, 6, 7 years. But if you look at all this on YouTube, man, I mean, her page is endless.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Dude, she is out there producing content like breaking the algorithm, basically. Right. I mean, when they say content is king and daily content is king, this girl's doing it. Between all those different businesses, the camming and all those different things, it's pretty spectacular. So
Cherry what again? Cherry what? Cherry soda?
Cherry Crush?
Cherry Crush. Oh, right. Okay, I can read. Yes, Cherry Crush. My bad. Nice. That's a very interesting find. That's a deep dive because you're mixing. There's a little entrepreneurial aspect that she's getting.
I know what John's doing here. I like the little cross fluff here.
Yeah.
John knows what he's doing. I love it. John, this is a good pick.
You like this one, huh?
I learned something. A, I learned who she was. B, I know what ASMR is. It's like people that get off on sounds.
Yep.
And I just found out our construction manager has a real big foot fetish. Feet, you know.
Well, so
we talked about that a few episodes ago. That foot thing can make you some money online.
Dude, I had no idea. He came up to me. He goes, "Don't worry about it. Your wife's feet are beautiful." And I was like,
"Take some pics, man. You make some money."
It's like, all right.
So, guys, real quick, we'll do a real recap, and we're going to get to our interview with our model. We've got Sasha Banks, we have Taya Leoni, and then we have Cherry Crush. So in the comments below, guys, tell us who your favorite Women Crush Wednesday was of this week. Leave a comment for us. That'd be great. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back, and we are going to meet the lovely Ashley Banks. Thanks for checking out this video, everyone. Did you know that for the price of a 6-pack of beer that you can get Bikini Girl magazine each month? That's right. You get the digital magazine downloadable to your phone or your desktop, as well as all the smoking hot, uncensored content from the shoots that I can't show on social media. Go to bikinigirlmagazine.com and sign up as a monthly patron. Or you can purchase individual issues via MagForest platform. Your support helps me continue to do all of these sexy shoots for you. The social media censors absolutely hate all of this content of beautiful women, so help spread the word to all your friends. Please make sure to like, comment, or share this video with some friends and click that subscribe button. Also, go follow Bikini Girl Magazine on our second YouTube channel and across social media to keep up with the latest hot babes. And we are back, and we are now joined by a hot girl. Say what's up, everybody, to Ashley Banks.
Hello, Ashley.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
How you doing?
First of all, I thought your Women Crush Wednesdays were super hot. Second of all, I was jealous you were talking about Star Wars without me. I'm a big Star Wars fan. So yeah.
Oh, great.
I've been watching and just hi, you guys.
Chime in. Give us some of your thoughts on Star Wars. What are you thinking?
Somebody
it's a little
crack.
choppy on my end. What was that?
Oh, you said you were into the Star Wars. Give us some thoughts. What were you enjoying, or what parts were you excited about?
Oh, okay. So let me just go on a rant really quick.
Do it, yeah.
It's a little choppy for me, so I didn't really hear the question. But let me just talk about Star Wars, right? My favorite movie ever was Revenge of the Sith. It was, the third one, kind of this series, I guess. And I totally thought Anakin, or that younger character, was totally awesome. He did a great job of having that kind of explosive anger and the kind of and I thought that Luke, this is going to be maybe an unpopular opinion, but I kind of think that he's a little bitch a little bit, and I think it's partially because he didn't have all his training, he doesn't know what he's doing, really, you know what I mean? And so it was always a big, and even Kylo Ren, I feel had more of that edge, opposed to Luke having that kind of, square behavior, or so yeah, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in because I was watching you guys talk about it, and I wanted to word vomit.
Did you watch The Bad Batch? Did you watch the new show? Do we have audio?
No, and that is only because I don't want to ruin it for me. I don't know what it is, but I love all the old movies. I love, all the more recent movies of Star Wars. But when it came to those separate series, I didn't know why I wanted to shy away from it. I'm not sure why.
You don't want to, you don't want to, you love the old movies so much, you just don't want to destroy them with the new content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. There's some, I know some people like that.
When John and I were saying a little earlier,
exactly.
everyone.
What if it's not old school style? Pisses me off.
We were saying earlier too, does everybody agree on this stream that Darth Vader, in the history of possibly all movies or books, is the baddest dude, the baddest villain? Like, even if you're a Marvel person, John and I agree, Vader versus Thanos, we're probably taking Vader.
There's a lot of like crackling and popping.
Absolutely, like by all means. Even like Emperor Palpatine doesn't really have like an edge. He just kind of like uses pawns, you know. So
Yeah.
Hey Ash, what are you streaming on right now? What are you using for your webcam and your audio?
let me see if I can kind of move this.
You got the loading dock?
I'm streaming on an iPad. I'm gonna.
Steve,
Let
gummy
me try
bears,
to see
huh?
if I can hop off and jump back in from a better connection. Okay.
Not me, it's my kids.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm off the gummy bears, man. They ripped a crown out of my head.
Yeah.
You know, you get the suction, and fucking pulls it right out of your head. That's a nice $1,400 fixed job. So annoying.
Yeah. My son loves them, and now my daughter. And,
Man, I almost brought the guitar out today too, by the way. And I think we just formed a band. Like so John,
in the queef eaters. I think I need to pearl. I think I need to pearl.
Captain Clint Taurus and the Queef Eaters.
John, yeah. I've been working on an album about Steve for a couple of years now. Now, John, I can't sing. I don't know how to read music. I don't know how to play the guitar, but I'll tell you what, I got a couple singles that are pretty good. I mean, lyrically speaking, they're phenomenal. I dive deep into Steve's childhood and high school years with a rhythm guitar. And
one was Rage Against Incest, and then there was I forgot the other one. What was the other? What was the title of the other one?
The Boy Who Killed the Duck.
Yeah.
By the way, so I was rewatching Veep. Steve, I won't go into that on air.
Thank you.
I was rewatching Veep, and there is a scene with Dan, the hot, campaign manager, and him and Selena are having drinks, and they're sharing something bad that you did. And this guy, I totally forgot about this part. He's like, yeah, I remember when I was a kid, a bunch of guys in the neighborhood dared me to kill a stray dog. I did. There she is, Ashley.
I'm wondering if this is any better.
It seems like it might be a
little better right off the jump.
Okay, this is on the laptop, so it should be a little more.
Yep.
Bueno. Muy bueno.
Bueno.
Way better.
Perfect.
Ashley, where are you from?
So I'm from Oregon originally, the PNW, right? I grew up
Go Ducks.
45 minutes from Portland.
There you go.
Little out
Go
there.
Ducks.
We're a little strange up there. We have a lot of fun, so.
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks or go Beavers?
Go Ducks. Fuck Beavers. Okay.
Okay. You fucked Beavers. Okay. Gotcha. What have you been up to, Ashley? Have you been getting some work done during COVID?
Absolutely. So everything that I basically do for a living is online or basically in the adult entertainment industry. So COVID does not really slow it down in the slightest. I have my little Bikini coffee hut that's already kind of up in Oregon, and I'm about to open the second one down here in San Diego. So I'm so stoked. I'm currently kind of sifting through locations, currently kind of seeking out some bikini baristas and some equipment, and everything will be thrown together by October. So that's kind of the project that I'm working on right now.
Can you expand
on? I sell cars in my spare time, so that's why the opening date is.
Wait, was that bikinis and coffee?
Yeah, can you expand on the
barista?
Okay.
Oh, we lost her again.
All right. Well, she left us. I like that idea.
Left me wanting more.
Yeah, I like this whole thing. Like, she just comes in, drops a bomb on us, and then disappears. And we're talk amongst yourselves, boys.
She's gonna come in and be like, by the way, I'm wanted for murder.
Here we go. Here she is again.
Okay. Let's give you another little taste of
There we go.
Okay. So sorry for the interruptions.
No worries.
I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi, but Bikini coffee, as in, you drive up to a little, it's kind of like a taco truck, right? But we have a bunch of big windows and we're in bikinis, just serving coffee to people or energy drinks. We have a bunch of other stuff on the menu too, food items,
Very small
breakfast
bikinis.
items. And yeah, we're just in bikinis and very small bikinis, microkinis, right?
Is the coffee any good?
It's a whole lot of fun. It's kind of like your daily pick-me-up of adult entertainment.
I love it. I'm really curious if you ask for a shot of cream, what's going to go down, but we'll leave that for another day.
As you can see,
Hey now, we're in San Diego. Where's the one in San Diego?
As you can see, it's kind of a little small little hut type deal. Hey now. There
Ash,
you go.
where's the
actually on
one?
Halloween. That's a Halloween throwback. So I was Princess Cinderella.
Where is that one in San Diego? I'm up in LA now, but I lived down there for a while. Where is the one in San Diego?
Yes, and it's also a great platform. So
I don't think.
I'm still kind of debating on locations, but I'm looking at a couple.
Oh,
I'm going to segue us with another Veep one. So in a later episode, Dan and the group of all the people running Selena's campaign, someone says something like, "Oh man, better keep an eye on him. He might be on suicide watch." And Dan looks over at the group and he goes, "Make sure he goes through with it." That show is phenomenal, by the way.
Oh, dude, the writing.
I don't know how they got away with it.
Yeah.
So, hey Ash, do you have a way to plug directly into the internet?
Yeah, let me work on it for a couple minutes, and I will try to jump back on.
And the other thing too is if you have a pair of like headphones or earbuds, because when you're typing on the key, oh yeah, okay. So. It worked in the test stream, guys. We did a test stream, and she actually was streaming from her phone, and she's like, at the worst case scenario, like I was like, dude, your phone is streaming amazing, like it was so crisp and clear. And
so do you think it's a dumb question to ask if the coffee's any good? Like, I know that's not why you're going to this place, but if I am going to go, the novelty wears off at a certain point. But if the coffee's good, I'm going to keep coming back.
Well, I think it's a fair question because if the coffee's shit, then can I just put my $3 in your tiny bikini and call it a day?
Right.
Dude, these are tiny bikinis. Like they're in very skimpy outfits. They take Hooters girls to a whole nother level for the bikini barista.
And I walk out of there with some maybe decent coffee or an energy drink.
John, is she? So she said she does some adult things. Like,
yeah.
Are we playing the porn game? The porno scene game?
No, she hasn't done any films, so we're not doing Guess the Porn Scene today, unfortunately. Yeah, I was really bummed. I love that game.
Solid segment.
So I'll kind of fill everybody in while Ash is getting the tech stuff back together again. So she was a dancer. She's danced all over the country. She had mentioned to me that she danced in Oregon. She had danced in also Houston, Texas, for a while, California, pretty much just all over the country and stuff. So and then she started this Bikini Barista when she went back up to Oregon. And that's been a hit. And now she's down here in Southern California. And we just did this photo shoot last week, actually. We did this shoot together. So, yeah.
In San Diego, that could pop in San Diego. I mean, if you have people buying coffee in the summer because they just want to go see the chicks, then you really hooked it in. But yeah, imagine this a bikini barista in the middle of Pacific Beach. Yeah, I'd go.
In the heart of PB and stuff, that would be absolutely fantastic. So,
who are you guys? Where's your go-to coffee? I'm an anti-Starbucks guy. I also think it's garbage coffee.
Anti-Starbucks.
Are you Pete's guys? You got a little hometown brew. Steve, are you even a coffee guy? I'm more of a green tea guy, to be honest.
I like tea.
Green tea.
I'm whatever is
readily available.
Yeah.
I was a coffee guy very young. My dad was a salesman for Maxwell House Coffee growing up as a kid. So I started drinking coffee at like 12 or
well, in Atlanta, right? Like, Steve, would you agree? Like through the 90s, it was pretty much, I feel like just a Coke sometimes. Like, I'll have a Coke on ice.
Yeah.
Like, fuck your coffee.
Right.
Yeah. I go through phases. Like I'll drink coffee for 6 months and then I won't drink it for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's weird. And the last coffee phase I was just in, I got into McDonald's coffee, their iced coffee, the drive-through, stuff like that. McDonald's drive-through coffee was, my go-to thing with a bunch of sugar.
Is this any better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. I'm plugged directly into the router. So we're all good. Yeah. So it's Bikini coffee. So we're basically naked serving coffee and beverages and breakfast items like egg bites and, stuff like that. So it's a whole lot of fun. It's like your daily adult entertainment, kind of like pick me up. So yeah, a lot of people don't want to go to like strip clubs, or they don't have the time or the money or the time away from their wives or like whatever, so it's a great kind of.
Steve wants to ask you about the actual coffee.
Is the coffee any good?
The coffee is actually excellent.
Good.
After my first kind of rodeo, my first time around, I'm actually not hiring anybody that doesn't already doesn't have that prior coffee experience for that reason. So,
Good.
So yeah. And I've had a lot of girls volunteer to even just fly down from the PNW. Bikini baristas are a pretty big deal up there. I'm not really sure if you've seen any of their followings or any of the kind of stand life up there, but it's a pretty big deal, and it's an awesome platform to kind of sell your content or sell other things. Some girls kind of sell underwear or calendars or whatever they want to sell. So it's a whole lot of fun.
Oh, so I would go anywhere pretty much if it was. I worked at Hooters for a while in my lifetime. I'd go buy anything if the staff was in bikinis.
Little known fact about Brian Linsley is he was paid in a little class action settlement for being discriminated against. My boy was discriminated against at a Hooters.
It's funny you bring that up. I was just telling John that. Steve, I just got another class action settlement on Sunday out of the blue.
From Hooters?
But no, this was different. It was a different company, but Hooters, no. So somewhere when I worked at Hooters on my application, I put down anything available. Like 5, 6, 7 years later, some guy in Maryland went in. He was like, "Hey, I want to be a server," and they were like, "Get the fuck out of here! Like, we don't care." So he sues them for sexual discrimination or whatever. And like 4 or 5 years later, I get a check in the mail for like $5,000 because on my application, I put anything available. Where like Scooter and RT, guys me and Steve know, worked at the same Hooters the same summer. They both put down busboy or dishwasher, and they got nothing. But just because I put anything available,
I got a question. So Ash, I kind of gave a brief synopsis of, tell us about your career. We'll take it from the top and go from there. What you've been up to.
And you got a really nice booty.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I put a lot out there, so it kind of started when I was 18. This was 10 years ago, you guys. So when I was 18, I started dancing. And I discovered that I could kind of just walk into any club at any time and just go work. They'd be like, "Do you want to work right now? Like, can you, come on." So I went to like 40 something different states, just kind of traveling, living life, seeing some sights and, throughout the United States. And I didn't intend on living in Houston, but I made so much money there and it just wouldn't stop. I kind of just got a house there and ended up living out there for some years. That was kind of like the height of my adult entertainment. And then I was going back and forth between San Diego, which is where I'm at currently, and Oregon. And while I was living in Oregon, there was a little bikini stand like down the street from my house. And I went to go apply, and of course I nailed it. And I was kind of looking around like, I want to do this. This is a fun business. This is awesome, right? And so my manager kind of taught me how to run that business and kind of how to start my own. And it just kind of went from there. And I was dancing and I was kind of yeah, selling online content, the OnlyFans, of course. And so, yeah.
Hey, did you ever dance in Tampa?
No, I never danced in Tampa.
Okay.
And this was why. Florida was not one of my hot spots. And it was
Hmm.
because a lot of the spots that I chose were in the middle of nowhere. So they didn't really have a whole lot of girls. They didn't really have a whole lot of stuff going on. And so then, you know, you can show up out of the blue and all of a sudden you're the one getting all the attention because they don't really have another outlet for their needs or their you know, lap dance stuff, or you know what I mean. And so I did a lot of Tampa. I stayed away from, definitely, because it was
I only asked that because Tampa has a reputation that, like, behind Vegas, it's like quote unquote strip club capital of the world. It's always just kind of thrown me off. Like I've hit most of the main ones in Vegas, you know.
I always wondered if you could get like kind of a like be just kind of a freaky stripper where you're like and like a bucket of water and was like tip
yeah,
the
no,
shit out
you
of
totally
me.
could. I've actually danced at a couple clubs where we had like shower shows. In Houston at the Ritz, we had pudding wrestling. The pudding wrestling was fun, you know. So we would do that like once a month. So yeah, there's been all kinds of little. With the shower shows, there would be like 3 or 4 girls that you would have to buy tickets. They would raffle tickets the whole night, or you know, sell them, and then by the end of the night, everybody would move to the VIP section.
Yeah.
See the show, and then you pass the bucket around. Everybody tips too, and the girls are doing all kinds of little freaky stuff in the shower. It was like a little waterfall scenic thing, or you know, the clubs make everything kind of cool and entertainment like. So yeah, done a lot of cool stuff.
Where did you at what point in time did you get into the cam industry, the webcam modeling industry?
Slink back in.
It started some years back. I actually tried to do a lot of like the full website, like streaming, you know, stuff, and that's successful for me when I throw all my time and my energy into it. And so I kind of converted over to OnlyFans and tip snaps and a couple other things that I could not have to just be on there like 24/7. You know, right now I also sell cars, and so that takes up like 90% of my time. And so I love being able to have something that I can still post daily and still go live and still be active on. But I don't have to just sit on there the entire day. So yeah, that's why I loved converting.
You seem like you hustle. You seem like a hustler.
I do what I can. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got that entrepreneurial spirit for starting your own business, obviously, with traveling around the country, doing the dancing. Did you feel that because you flip cars, that's what you do now? You said 90% of your business is you buy cars off of auctions and flip them and refurbish them and stuff like that.
I have my dealer's license, and yeah, so I have a lot of fun doing that. I kind of refurbish them, kind of spruce them up a little bit, and then kick them back out. So yeah.
So I gotta ask, what's the tattoo above or below the belly? Is that a word? I can't. It's small.
Yeah, that's actually a name, and it's horrible because I got a lot of my tattoos around the time I was like 16 years old. So I've actually been getting a lot of them removed. They'll be gone in about 6 months to a year. It just depends on how my immune system kicks them out. But yeah,
all of them. Are you getting them all removed?
Yes, all of them. They're all going. Bye. So
I'm tat free all my life. I think John and I think Steve are too. Is that correct?
Well,
yeah, I have no
weird thing I
tattoos.
did, and Brian remembers this, is when I had my anus sewed shut.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I was gaining weight for wrestling.
But for obvious reasons, but, you know.
I pierced my nipple in Barbados. That was it. That's the only thing I did one time.
Ooh, freaky.
I like a good scar. Like I like
one
a good
nipple
scar.
You like scars, huh?
I burned myself at my gym like 4 years ago. It went away on me, but I mean, it was the light in the sauna, and it was scorching. Like I laughed, like I didn't think. I mean, I was shocked. I was in this very weird pattern, and for the course of the next year, when I'd go in to the gym with like a shirt sleeve off or the sauna, people would be like, "Dude, what is that? Like what? Like I was like, it's a brand, you know. Like I
I
tried
think
to
it
play
gives
when he
you
was,
definitely an element of danger, or
Yeah.
or an idiot. But
Oh,
I liked
yeah.
it. Like I'm not gonna lie, I liked it.
I'm
But it
kind of
did go
into
away.
cleft palates.
I like a lazy eye.
A little first and third.
You know why? Because they can't see the cloudy eye coming.
So you guys, I actually have a woman crush Wednesday. if you
Oh
don't mind.
yeah.
Her name,
Oh,
the most important person I've ever seen dance. They used to have I guess like porn nights at the strip clubs that I worked at, and Bridget the midget literally was the most entertaining stripper I've ever seen in my life. She had fire that she was rubbing all over her body. She had the fire sticks. She was a midget, clearly, obviously. She could do way more pull tricks than your average dancer.
John's on it. John's on it.
Is this her?
Woo! Yes, literally, that is her, you guys. Literally, that is her.
I feel like I kind of know who that is. When you said Bridget the midget, something in my brain was like, yes, I know who that is.
I wonder why.
I do too. Very cool.
Yeah.
We like it when people bring their own
About-
WCW.
When you're talking about prime A entertainment, you guys, Bridget the midget overcompensates for everything. So
Very nice. Very nice.
my Women Crush Wednesday.
That's very cool. I'm glad you got in on that. So we're going to add that to the list of comment down below. Do we have Bridget the
A
midget?
little out
Taylor?
there, but I like switching it up, you guys. You can't go with the norm.
So have you ever heard of this thing called ASMR that this girl does?
I literally never.
I had never heard of it either at all. Like it was pretty interesting. I guess it's a big fetish thing out there. So what did you specialize in? I mean, you traveled around the country dancing so many different clubs. I mean, you know, tell us the difference first off between what are the clubs in Portland like versus Texas? I mean, every state has such different laws on what you can do. And like one state is just, you know, the girl can be topless as long as she's 12 feet from this guy and she's touching the pole at all times. And then other states don't even seem to care. It's like, you know, sex in the club, basically. Like what,
Absolutely.
so tell us the differences that you've seen.
So the differences kind of that I've seen is that, you know, in Houston, for example, or let me just start with when I left Oregon. Let me try to get to a better little spot. When I left Oregon, not all the clubs were fully nude. Let's just start with that. So when they were not fully nude, that was kind of, you know, kind of lame for me. I based my whole routines and all my stuff off like that kind of style of dancing. A lot of the clubs, you know, in Houston or other places made you have latex on your boobs. Like they would have liquid latex. It was so strange. It smelled so weird, you know, and they just had different rules anywhere that you would go, right? And I didn't really, you know, San Diego, some of the clubs, they don't actually do cash, but they have like a little key, you know, and you have like a dancer's key. And whenever you do any kind of dances or any kind of money making, you scan your tab, they scan their stuff, and then they give you the money at the end of the night. So they can take
So I'm not putting a bill.
So,
I'm not putting a bill in the thong.
No.
Oh.
So yeah, I didn't like that. I'm a little more traditional in the sense of, you know, I like handling money, and I even went so far as to get like a little PayPal reader and Square reader and stuff like that, different forms of stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, you can imagine I've seen all different kinds of stuff. One of the reasons why I didn't dance in Florida is because the one time I tried to dance, where was that? It was Miami. I went into a club and there was about, you know, there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And there were a lot of dancers that didn't actually work there. They would go into the bathroom and kind of like change into their dance outfits as customers. And because they charge you, they ended up charging me $300 to $500 by the end of the night, when I didn't make a whole lot of money there because there were so many girls, so much stuff going on. I definitely do better in the kind of like smaller clubs where I can get people one-on-one. I'm a talker, so I'll talk people's ear off, and you know what I
No
mean?
way.
I'm not so much like into the booty shaking stuff all night. You know, I like being able to get people on the one.
Ashley,
So.
Ashley, have you ever gone to Montreal then?
No, you know, I've been
Dude.
there on presentation, but not like dancing. And I've actually heard such good things. I would love to
Oh
go.
my God. First of all, light touching is acceptable. Like if somebody were to kind of like, if the girl was okay with like a light touch to the stomach or something, that's fine. They can touch the guys if they want, obviously. But we went there. I went there with some buddies on a spring break, as opposed to going to like someplace tropical or whatever. It was beer festival in Montreal. And we're standing in this club. It's a strip club. Yeah. And these two blondes, super cute like you, come over and they're like, hey, do you guys want the 2-girl show? There's 5 of us total. And we're like, well, how much is it? Just to get a ballpark. They're like $100, but everybody gets a beer to start. So right there, we're like, okay. So we go and we sit in the back, and it's kind of a little bit closed off, but you can still see the rest of the club. And there's like this kind of thin, like imagine a Benihana's, you know, like how you sit lower to the table.
Yes.
That kind of feel. And then we thought we were getting like sexy pillow fight type thing happening, which we did. 5 minutes in, tops are off, bottoms are off, and they're, you know, going down on each other. A little dildo play. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Super freaky.
Yeah, A+ Montreal. A+ Montreal.
Ooh, okay. I'll definitely remember that.
Yeah. And by the way, by the end of the show, I think we all each tipped $100. So they easily split like $600-$700 for the hour. So we're talking $300 an hour potentially. No matter what industry you're in, kids, that's good coin.
I'd say, yeah.
Hey Queef Eater, your volume's on.
There's always a place in Atlanta when you start to get a little older, the Claremont Lounge. So it is a place where there's always activity. No matter how old you get, no matter what you look like.
She might do well at Magic City.
Oh, oof.
Well,
Magic
what's so
City.
funny? It's funny you bring up age because, you know, I feel like there's young and old for a dancer and then young and old for a person. And it's funny because even being, you know, almost 28 myself, I'll talk to a lot of girls in the strip club when I dance. And some of them, you know, I tell them my age and they're like, ooh, you're getting up there, aren't you? Or whatever, because they're like 18 or 19 still or whatever. And, you know, I just want to mention, I think like it depends on have the years kind of been rough to you? Like, what have you been doing over the years? Or what have you not been doing over the years? Or, you know what I mean? Like, how have you been treating the industry? Or how have you been letting it treat you? You know? So
sure.
Just wanted to throw that there.
I think sometimes, like I said, I've been to some of the Vegas ones frequently. Sometimes 18, 19, just because at my age now, like I kind of like a little season. Because I don't know, 18 or 19, I'm like, I don't know. That actually might be a little young for me, but I digress. John, we good over there?
Yeah. Okay.
I
need to switch my cam. My other cam froze on me. That half screen thing going on. So it's kind of interesting. So how long have you been on OnlyFans for now?
2 years now. So, yeah,
oh wow.
2 years.
Okay.
For literally the first year, I did not take it seriously in the slightest. It was just something I kind of did when I was
looking for my blow.
because my manager was kind of telling me, oh, it's beneficial. And I was just kind of like, oh, whatever, you know. I would probably post maybe like once a month, literally for the first year.
Oh, okay.
And then now I'm up to literally.
Yeah.
So now the year 2, you know, I post regularly, like every day. I post, you know, lots of lives. I post, you know, I'm a lot more active on social media just because I have kind of discovered, you guys, I even walk around with my OnlyFans on my shirt, you know,
nice.
Like I'm wearing it now.
At your
so
yeah.
Ashley.
weird creepers.
She's a
Actually,
hustler.
People are being creepers in public. I'm like, you guys, not a problem. Like, you can't have my number, but like, subscribe to my OnlyFans. You know. So,
Ashley, have you ever thought about going
That's just
viral on the dance stage and doing something just crazy and just like bringing out like a kitten, like a really cute kitten, like a bucket of water and being like, kick the shit out of me before I dump the
yeah, you know, I have the pivotal moment that made me think about that is when I saw a girl on stage. Her trick was to set a beer bottle down and then she would make it disappear. She would sit on it and make it disappear. And so I literally saw how much money she was making doing like fun little stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it makes you think.
Parlor tricks.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
Rock comic.
Yeah.
Dude, you get to watch her dig it out?
No.
Well, no, there's
no.
a
You don't
girl
know what
at
happens later.
But I mean, you know, I'd pay extra to help fish it out. I'd be
there's a
curious
girl
what-
at Pink Pony in Atlanta who gets on her back and legs all the way over, and she lays a dollar bill, and she well, if you look at my name, she queefs it into the air. You know, she blows it.
Well, there
impressive.
you go. Right up
Yeah.
your alley.
Yep.
Now, when Steve says there's a stripper there, he means his mom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well.
And when we were talking about the young strippers and the seasoned strippers, we're talking
Yeah.
like Steve's mom's.
Steve's mom.
She's age one.
Guys.
Yeah. I've been her agent for years.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
goodness.
freaky, you guys. I wasn't expecting all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like to get a little weird with it here, right?
Got to.
So do you think that what have you found is the best way to drive new fans and new subs to your OnlyFans? Do you find that what's the most successful? Is it from working at the club, doing the cam, Instagram followers, Twitter? What's worked best for you?
Absolutely, just marketing with people. I would reach out to random brands, to be honest with you, and just be like, hey, like, I'd love to go shoot some photos, or I'd love to go, I make adult content. I get a lot of attention. Do you want me to kind of like promote your brand, or do you want me to kind of, and then I kind of choose things in the adult entertainment industry, like sex toys or outfits or, boutiques or whatever that kind of pertain, that kind of have a following of what I'm trying to do, or, and so, yeah, Instagram, Twitter, obviously all the social media platforms are very, very helpful. I feel like it's a whole lot harder. I can't even imagine back in the day without, with just word of mouth in the strip club or, whatever your modality or whatever you call it is. And speaking of modality, another way that I get lots of clients is I actually do professionally massage. Like I went to school for massage therapy as well. So some of the clients that I have that, maybe they get a little too excited during the session, or maybe, I get that vibe from them. I'm like, hey, I do other stuff too, like adult entertainment. Check out my social medias or check out my OnlyFans, or, you know what I mean? I'm very much out there.
So you're meeting a lot of people.
Like
You're meeting a lot of people, and then they meet
Deshaun
you. They
Watson?
like your personality. They like other things. They happen to like the big bunda, the bella bunda.
Deshaun Watson could be a good client for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's hot. He's hot.
Right idea.
That was a timely joke, Brian. That was so timely.
That's a family show. Trying to think here. So, but you've never dabbled in the actual adult film. We talked about. Oh, we lost her again. Damn it.
Hey, Ashley Banks. That was one of the characters on The Fresh Prince. Am I correct?
It sure was.
Tatiana.
Okay, everyone was thinking that. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I had such a crush on her. Oh, that's a women crush.
I had so many fucking Fresh Prince questions ready to go, and scrapped them. Had to go right into coffee and bikinis.
John, should we jump into some? We're hour 55. Should we jump into cultural?
Yeah, we'll
questions,
get
or what
into
do you wanna
culture.
do?
We'll do culture questions when she gets back on here.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Somebody wanted to say hi to you guys.
Oh.
there he goes, Queefeater with the snaps.
Oh, the snap, man! That was so quality last time he was on.
Okay, here we go.
Just say hi. Say hi.
There we go. How you doing, Ash?
All right.
Oh,
Mason, what's up, dude?
Say hi.
Hi, Mason.
What's up, little man?
Say what's up. This is Ashley. That's John, and that's Brian.
Your face is the best, man.
Thank you.
Out of all the faces in this group, yours
Yours is the best.
This little Mace Daddy.
Bye.
Bye, buddy. Go eat some gummy bears.
Cool.
Yeah, he's eating too many. All right.
So we're gonna get into a segment right now. We're gonna have a little fun. This is What's Your Culture? Culture questions with Captain Clint Torres. So he's gonna rapid fire some questions at you. If he's ready to go, give me the signal.
They're just kind of random pop questions. So I'm gonna start with do you just because we were just talking about it, have you ever seen The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Absolutely. Do you want me to sing the theme song? Or no?
No, we just want to make sure that you knew that your
West
name was
Philadelphia.
exact.
No, just kidding.
Your name was exactly. Oh wow, was exactly like
The
Tatiana
character on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Ashley Banks. So
Yeah,
All right.
Ashley Banks.
this is for everybody. We'll go in order. We'll go Ashley, John, Steve. I say star. You say.
Fish, like brown starfish. No.
I'm looking for Wars or Trek. Maybe I should have.
Oh,
I was gonna say Starlight Bar. in
I
San
say
Diego.
star. You say.
So we're kind of just finishing
Wars.
sentences.
Star Wars.
Like no. Like, which one do you like better? Or do you
Wars.
like? Yeah. So Steve,
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Yeah.
Star Wars. Okay,
Star
yeah.
Wars. John.
Star Wars.
Clean sweep. That's 4-0. Better captain, Captain Kirk or Derek Jeter?
Oh, Kirk, you don't get out of here, Yankee. Just get out of here, Yankee.
Ashley.
Kirk, for sure.
Wow. John.
Yeah, I'm a diehard Yankee fan, but I gotta say Kirk too.
Incorrect. All three. Correct answer. Derek Jeter. Let's see. Quick one. Better tomato, cherry or grape?
Beefsteak.
Grape tomato?
Grape tomato or cherry tomato? Better tomato.
What the hell is a
Cherry.
grape tomato?
Pretty much the exact same thing with a different name.
I'm going cherry.
Yep, cherry's correct answer. Now, Steve and I
You
are
like
different.
you like to pop the cherries.
You like
Oh,
to?
that's
Steve and I actually hate tomatoes. Though.
Yeah.
Like we don't touch those. I mean, I haven't had a tomato in 19 years. Okay. Are you okay? So Ashley, where do you stand on Seinfeld? If I go to some Seinfeld questions, or is that a little out of your demo?
Hate it.
Okay.
Whoa.
We'll do
My
those later.
God.
What about
It's a-
Friends? Did
Not
you
a
watch
popular
Friends?
opinion.
Did you watch Friends? Were you a Friends
Friends
person?
was a little too square for me, you guys. I was kind of like
Wow.
running the streets a little bit. Like Friends was
Okay.
a little too square for me.
I get that.
Okay.
I like that.
All right, we're gonna have to go to some go-tos then. Michael Jackson or Prince?
MJ.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Incorrect. Prince. Better Prince song or best Prince song?
Oh, best Prince song, Raspberry Beret.
Yeah, I know
Purple
this
Rain.
one.
That's
Yeah.
the only one I know, really, to be honest with you.
Okay, moving on. Steve nailed it. It is Raspberry Beret. All right. Of all bikini colors, Ashley, what color? And we're talking full color, not like stripes, nothing like that. Just solid color bikini. What is hands down the number one best color for almost any hair color, skin tone, or anything? What for men? This color is by far number one.
Teal.
Oh, gosh.
Pink.
Green.
It's white.
Oh, okay.
White. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Okay.
All right. So better. Or hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me one second.
Yeah.
Greatest sword in the history of the galaxy. I've got options: lightsaber, the sun sword, or the sword of omens. If you need some background information on the latter, lightsaber.
It's lightsaber. There's nothing been
Lightsaber.
anything cooler. It makes noise. It cuts through anything. It.
You can throw them.
Do you guys know
they
what
come
the
back to
sword?
you.
Do you know what the sword of omens is, or what the sun sword is?
No clue.
Okay.
No.
The sun sword is created from 10,000 suns across the universe. It is by far the dominant sword in the history of the galaxy. But if you don't know Thundar the Barbarian, You might not know what the Sun Sword is. Okay.
Sounds like a porn movie, Thundar the Barbarian.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds hot. Okay.
All right, Ashley, give me a little back. Just tell me a little bit like some personal stuff so I can throw out some more random questions because I guess I'm lost on like. I mean, first of all, you are a first with a I hate Seinfeld. Like
I've never heard that.
That's
Basically,
impressive.
Ashley's saying, "Get out of here with your
Why, you
nerd
guys?
shit. Hit me with some street shit." That's what Ashley's saying.
Oh, okay.
But Ashley, like, what do you like? What
Give
kind
her
of
some
music do you listen to?
New Jack City questions or something like that.
Yeah.
Give her something like that, like basketball.
Ashley, what year were you born?
I was born in 93.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So, Harry or the redheaded nerd?
Both.
But wow. Okay.
You know,
like same time?
yes, literally right at the same damn time.
Okay. What is the redheaded nerd's name again? Okay. All right.
I'm like, hey, whatever you got for me, I'll take it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Female superhero character you want to get with.
Wonder Woman. And it's just because she kind of like embodies that more like badass, you know. But actually, what's his name's Woman Crush Wednesday, the one.
Sasha?
Yes, exactly.
Dude.
She's kind of like a superhero too, a little bit. So I thought she was kind of hot. So maybe her.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, she can vice me any day with those legs.
Yeah, well, you know, actually, you guys, I have a little son close to your little child's age, and they watch the Hulk constantly, right?
Yes.
The Marvel, like the old school Marvel Hulk, and all those girls on there are straight up in like super like micro bikini kind of like super hot outfits. I'm like, and they got the like the sexy voices and stuff. So I think a lot of those really randoms are all just kind of hot too.
Nice.
Question. Is pro wrestling real or fake?
Absolutely fake. But
Steve?
an art.
I would have followed Ashley down that road, but I lost this bet to Linsley in a horrible fashion. I went with fake my whole life, and he proved to me that it is very, very real.
Here's what I was going to go with. No, here's what I was going to go with next, though. If it is fake, would you walk up to The Rock? I'm assuming you know who The Rock is.
Yes.
Look, that dude, like, I don't know if you've ever watched what he's done in a wrestling ring and be like, hey, dude, that shit's fake. Like, would you have the nerve to do that? Steve, I'd love to hear your answer.
Look, when you told me that they put little pieces of glass and stuff and they cut themselves like intentionally, like sliced open their forehead all the time for blood.
Blading. They call it blading.
I saw that Mickey O'Rourke movie, The Wrestler, where Springsteen has a really good song in that title track. That movie also shows you the life of a wrestler, and it is no joke.
So
those guys get seriously injured through their career. Seriously injured.
Full disclosure, Ashley, I did not have enough personal background probably to have great questions for her. So I'm gonna rattle off a couple more. Some of these are probably gonna be a little more geared for John and Steve, but let's just see how this goes.
I got one real quick.
Okay,
so who would you get with? Are we talking with Captain Kirk or Jean-Luc Picard? Which guy are you going with?
Definitely Captain Kirk.
Okay.
Just because he's just been epic in my life forever, and he's always been like, you know, man crush Monday a little bit. So strong, powerful leader, knows what to do. Jumping on that for sure.
He's got those punches that never connect.
Yes, exactly.
All right, I'm gonna fire through these ones real quick.
Sudeikis, or what's her name? Olivia
Wilde.
Yeah,
or
they broke up, right? And
yeah,
she started dating that British dude,
Harry Styles.
So Jason Sudeikis or Harry Styles?
Oh God, neither. Fuck you guys. I guess it would be Harry Styles, just because he's like a little more common. But you know, I like the kind of more action associated kind of guys. You know, like The Rock would be a little bit more up my alley.
Maybe Hemsworth, maybe Thor. Get a little Thor going. How about Thor?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Hemsworth.
Okay.
Yeah, Harry Styles a little too scrawny for me.
He wears women's undergarments too. I mean, I do what you want to do, but like
yeah, he promotes
I don't
where men carrying women's handbags and crap on shows. So yeah, so you're anti-metrosexual.
So
you're
well, I just like a big manly man.
Yeah, okay.
I like a classic, old school, take charge kind of leader type.
I'm thinking you like a little hair pulling. You like a little hair pulling in the middle of some intimate stuff. Yes,
I do. I'm a little submissive in ways,
Me too.
A little
Love
on the
it.
submissive side. I was a little hair.
Information I could have used at the beginning of this.
So.
Yeah, when I was in prison, there was my guy used to play.
John, why didn't you tell him that?
Oh no, it was.
All right, I'm going to rattle these off real quick. What was the name of Kramer's company, and who is his intern?
Kramerica.
And who was his intern?
His intern was Darren.
Bingo. When defending Darren's internship, Kramer has a spat with the university chancellor. What is the last thing she says to Kramer at the end of their conversation?
Oh, you smell.
Your fly is open.
Oh, fly is open. That's right.
And just one more quick one. Better Frank, Reynolds or Costanza?
Costanza.
Because I don't even know who Frank Reynolds is.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, played by Danny DeVito.
Never seen a single episode.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
Are you in It's Always Sunny? Do you like It's Always Sunny?
Danny DeVito is a little funny. He's kind of short and grumpy,
Oh man, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is the gnarliest show out there. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. It's fucking amazing.
What shows are you into, Ash?
Yeah.
Oh, what shows are you into?
You guys, I'm a little embarrassed right now because one of my main shows that I'm into for the last 10 years, my favorite show that I watch
10 years
damn near every day, General Hospital, the daytime soap.
Ooh.
Literally, I've been watching General Hospital like damn near every day for like 10 years. I feel like I know those characters.
Is Sunny on that
they're
one?
real people in my life.
You remember Mary, Brian?
Yes, he's a total monster.
She watched GH
so I love
every day.
I bet she did.
Wow. Okay. My mom does the same thing, and she never misses an episode. And man, what's that?
I think we're gonna.
I also love Power and kind of that like crime edge, you guys. Like I kind of like that little crime edge, like
50 Cent or Ice-T. 50
HBO
Cent or Ice-T. If you could, Ashley, 50 Cent or Ice-T. If you could be on one of their albums.
50 Cent, and I have to say, because 50 Cent's a little more my pace. Ice-T, he's doing the rock thing and like the, I don't know. 50 Cent's
Ice-T was nuts back in the day too. Ice-T was not. Remember Cop Killer? Like that album set fucking America on fire, and it was a good album. Like it's a good album.
Body Count was his band. Yeah.
You take the name, you take Cop Killer as the name off that album. There's nothing wrong with that album compared to everything else that was out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So those are my questions. They weren't that great this time. I'll do better. We'll work on it, and we'll get back to you.
I love watching his little show with his wife.
Oh yeah, with Coco. Oh yeah.
Oh God, yeah. When Coco T or whatever her name was started posing nude,
and literally they
broke the internet.
Dogs, and their dogs were getting their balls removed.
Oh, what? They were neutering the dogs?
Oh, I was going to tell you guys, I was watching, and their dogs were getting their balls removed, and they thought it was so important to get them implants. Like, they were like, our dogs need implants. We don't want to, like, remove their masculinity. I thought that was hilarious.
Man.
So. I one time took a piss next to Ice-T. Swear to God. In the bathroom.
You check it out?
Fuck no, dude. I want to get the guy fucking loses shit.
When I was 24, I had both of my testicles removed and replace with cue balls,
I would've.
like actual cue balls for $4,200 for 12 months. I had to walk around with cue balls in my nutsack.
Steve also has enjoyed colonics out of a roadside dungeon with some random guy in LA. He let some. All right, John, what do we got? John, take the show back.
I think airing out all the dirt. Okay.
No, there are certain stories I don't like to relive.
Well, Ash, it was awesome. I'm so stoked that you were able to make it with us and like push through like the little bit of technical issues. Where can everybody find you online? Should they go to your Instagram? Is your Instagram the best thing? I think I might have it here. Is this the best place for them to find you?
Yeah, everybody should go to.
Oh, we lost her.
My Instagram
Okay,
is
there we
the
go.
best place, and
Great.
that link is right there. So yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Queef Eater.
Oh, cutting out. Thanks so much, you guys. That's the best place.
Hey, you too, Ash.
Man City. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Ash.
I think that did
Are we
it.
having a shirt off? Are we having a shirt off?
I'll lose that one. I'm just a millionaire beach bum. That's well, besides, little technical difficulties this stream with the interview, but hey, it's gonna happen, Wi-Fi. We can't really
We're still growing.
push,
it's good.
Yeah, we're still growing. We'll push through it.
And I'll get these gummy bears out of here. I'll get these gummy bears out of here.
Yeah. Anything you want to toss in there? Final farewell, Queef Eater?
Final farewell. Thanks for having me as usual. Sorry for the late arrival. I had to go.
No problem.
A prescription for my mother, and that was it.
Before she goes to the strip club, right?
Before she goes to the strip club.
Before work. You had to get it done before work.
Yeah, penicillin.
I'm not sure. I don't know if Steve's mom's ever worked a day in her life. Not being offensive. Not being offensive. The wonderful lady that Jan.
Wonderful lady.
Oh, that's offensive, saying she's never worked a day in her life as opposed to a veteran stripper.
These days that might be a little risque.
No, she raised 5 wonderful kids. She worked every day of her life.
Oh, that's 5 kids, man.
Yeah.
And one of them being Steve. One of them being Steve.
There's
So
no way around it.
We'll discuss Mary at great detail at some point, Steve.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Hey,
Captain
John.
Clint Torres, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Steve's family technically kind of had a slave growing up. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Her name was Mary. She was black. She lived in the back of their house. True story.
To be continued.
John, you're the best. Ashley, thank you. Stephen James, Queef Eater, you're my guy. Good
Thank
stuff,
you,
you guys.
That's
Signing
awesome.
off. All right,
Hey, everybody, thanks so much. Make sure to check out, if you can, if it's possible, make sure to go over to our, let's see here. Just screw it. I'm going to run the credits. I'm not going to
not watch In and of Itself by the next time we
In and of Itself. That's the
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
All right,
In
next
and
week.
of
That's
itself.
next week. All right. Love
Okay.
it. Love it.
All right, everybody, make sure to smash that like button, comment, subscribe, and we'll check you out next week. And I'm going to run the closing credits. Here we go. Thanks for checking out this video, everyone. Did you know that for the price of a 6-pack of beer, that you can get Bikini Girl magazine each month? That's right. You get the digital magazine downloadable to your phone or your desktop, as well as all the smoking hot, uncensored content from the shoots that I can't show on social media. Go to bikinigirlmagazine.com and sign up as a monthly patron, or you can purchase individual issues via MagForest platform. Your support helps me continue to do all of these sexy shoots for you. The social media censors absolutely hate all of this content of beautiful women, so help spread the word to all your friends. Please make sure to like, comment, or share this video with some friends and click that subscribe button. Also, go follow Bikini Girl Magazine on our second YouTube channel and across social media to keep up with the latest hot babes.